Traits of a female narcissist. Stop scrolling for a second. This isn't one of those videos where I list traits for you to remember. Just listen to this differently. Don't analyze it. Just visualize what I'm saying. Because I'm not talking to your logic right now. I'm talking to the part of your mind that notices things before you fully understand them. If this showed up in your feed today, there's usually a reason. Not a big one, just something in you is ready to notice this. I'm not going to give you a theory. This comes from real patterns people describe when they finally realize what was happening to them. So don't try to remember anything. Just let it play in your mind like something you have already seen before. Because once you see this, you don't forget it. You start noticing it everywhere. Give me the next few minutes and something will shift. Not suddenly, not dramatically, quietly. The way truth usually does. And at some point, you might even catch yourself thinking, wait, I've seen this before. There's a couple in every mall. She's 3 steps ahead. He's carrying all her bags. And you looked away because it looked normal. And listen, this is not about one moment. Carrying bags, helping, adjusting. That's not the problem. You can do all of that out of love. The question is, how do you feel in that relationship? Do you feel respected or just responsible? Do you feel stronger or slowly smaller? Are you growing in your life or quietly stuck where you were when they started? Because sometimes the same qualities that make you loyal, patient, committed are the exact ones keeping you there. You don't leave not because you can't, but because you believe you can fix it. So don't look at one action. Look at the pattern. And more importantly, look at who you are becoming inside it. Because once you start noticing this, you don't just see situations differently. You start seeing people differently until you notice his face. Not tired, not annoyed. Careful. Because looking up starts conversations and conversations become problems. Everyone warns you about loud women. And this isn't about men or women. These patterns don't belong to one gender. But today we are looking at one form of it. Angry ones, difficult ones. No one warns you about the soft ones. At first, it felt like closeness, like finally being understood, like someone choosing you completely. So you gave more time, more attention, more space, and slowly everything else started disappearing. Watch her in a restaurant. The waiter asks what she wants. She turns to you every time. What do you think? Should I get the salad? She already decided. It's not about the answer. It's about being seen asking. And you watching this, you're already thinking of your version of the salad. Because later, she won't ask. Later, she'll decide things for both of you. Money, plans, commitments. And when you question it, I always ask you. She did. She asked about the salad. And if you're slightly smiling right now, because you're remembering your version of this, that's the moment. You didn't learn this. You already knew it. Your family doesn't argue with you. They don't fight. They don't complain. They just step back because somewhere a quiet conversation already happened. Not with you. She needs space. He's been stressed. He's not himself lately. You didn't say those things, but now they exist. One day you decide to go see them. You pick up your keys. She doesn't stop you. She never does. She just says, of course you should go. Then softer. I'll be fine. I always am. And something inside you tightens. You sit back down. Just for today. Tomorrow you'll go. Tomorrow. The funeral was yesterday. And no one asked why you weren't there. Because they already knew her reason. And you didn't even get to explain it. Not because you couldn't, but because the story already moved on without you. You didn't choose that. You stopped telling your side of the story. She didn't. So when people ask, they hear her version first. And slowly, her version becomes the truth. It starts small. It always does. You're stressed. I'll handle the bills. Then one day, the OTP comes to her phone. Just easier. Then the account email changes. More organized. Then the password stops working. You don't remember changing it. You just know it's not yours anymore. And you don't call support. Because what would you say? How do you explain something that sounds normal when you say it out loud, but feels completely wrong when you live it? And now you're checking your own money, like you're doing something wrong. She didn't take control. She made it efficient until it wasn't yours. And when you question it, we are married. It's ours. But in a fight, I built this. And you sit there looking at your own signature on decisions you don't remember agreeing to, wondering when you said yes. I've sat with men who didn't even have a word for this yet. They just knew something felt wrong, and they all described the same thing. Not the fights, not the arguments, the silence. The moment they realized, they stopped asking questions. You don't check her phone. You don't need to. She check yours late at night without asking, who's this? Normal conversation. Old message. Nothing hidden. Why didn't you tell me? You didn't know. You were supposed to. Now you're explaining. Now you're adjusting. Now you're apologizing for a rule you never agreed to. This is Tuesday. This is every Tuesday. And it's not the question that exhausts you. It's that it never ends. And if you ever try to explain this to a friend, a lawyer, even yourself, sometimes people think these small things stay small. Just arguments, just tension, just misunderstandings. But patterns grow. Control grows. Distance grows. Silence grows. And one day you realize it was never about one fight. It was about the ownership. Who gets to decide what this relationship is? Who gets to decide what this house means? Who gets to decide who belongs and who does not? And then one day, leaving does not begin with shouting. It begins with packing, quietly, slowly, without closure. You're standing outside your own house, calling the neighbors. Please, can you just talk to her? Maybe she'll listen to you. You're calling her relatives. Can you explain what is happening? Why is she leaving like this? You call her sister, her cousin, someone older, anyone who might make her open the door. But she doesn't want to talk to anyone. The door stays closed. Inside, the suitcases are filling. And outside, you're standing there like a stranger, outside your own marriage. She does not open the door for you, for neighbors, for family, for anyone. She just keeps packing. And the strange part is, she's not taking random things. She knows exactly what matters. The good kitchen containers, the better furniture, the expensive utensils, the important documents, the jewelry, anything useful, anything beautiful, anything with value. That is what disappears first. And what is left behind is usually what nobody really wants. Sometimes even open dry fruit packets are gone. Small things that make you stop and think, was it really necessary to take even that? And the house starts to feel like this was not a separation, like a tsunami passed through your home. Every room feels empty. Every shelf feels silent. And the strangest part is, you're not even thinking about what was lost. You're thinking, she should have taken the refrigerator too. Because what use is it now? Maybe now you'll move to a smaller apartment. Less furniture, less noise, less hope. And then comes the most painful part, the phone call. And she says very calmly, I did not take anything unnecessary. I only took what was important. The rest is still there for you. You can sell it and keep the money. As if she's doing you a favor. As if she built the house. And now you are being handed the leftovers. And you stay silent on the phone. Because the issue was never the furniture. The issue was this, you did not lose a house. You lost belonging. You did not lose objects. You lost the illusion that this place was ever yours too. And that is one of the deepest traits people miss. It is never about control. It is about ownership. Even in leaving, they make sure you feel like the guest in your own life. It sounds small. She checks my phone. She asked about a salad. So you stop explaining because the story only makes sense when you lived inside it. And here's the trap. If you stay quiet, you lose yourself. If you speak up, you become the problem, the difficult one, the insensitive one, the one who changed. And if you're judging yourself right now, pause. You didn't stay because you were weak. You stayed because you were trying to do the right thing. And she knew that. And if somewhere inside you're thinking, I've done something like this, that's awareness. That's the difference. Because it's not the behavior, it's the inability to see it. Outside, she's admired, strong, independent. Inside, you feel smaller, not because she said it directly, because slowly your voice stopped mattering. Then something small happens, a comment, a look, a moment you have seen before, and suddenly you see the whole pattern. Not anger, not revenge, just, oh, that's what this was. And the worst part, you almost miss the confusion. Because at least confusion felt like something. And something strange happens. You feel quiet, not the heavy silence you lived in. A different kind, the kind of quiet where your own thoughts come first and they don't sound strange anymore. You're not weak for not seeing it. You were shown pieces and told what they meant. And anyone would believe someone they love. That was the point. If this felt familiar, you're not alone in seeing it now. And seeing it, that's the door. It was always there. You just had to trust your own eyes to find it.